We
We're
yeah,
live.
cool. Hello, welcome to Geas. Hold on, I can't see. Hello, welcome to Geas. We are Edinburgh University's tabletop role-playing society. We meet 3 times a week for regular gaming, and sometimes we do streams like this and run one-shots where you can also play games like this. We have Valentine's Day one-shots. If you'd like to join in, you can join on our Discord server. It doesn't matter if you're an Edinburgh University student or from anywhere else. And those will be going on the 27th of February at 6 p.m. on our Discord server. If you'd like to find out more, go on our website and it will tell you how to join. We also have repitches where you can join a game or continue the game that you are currently playing, which will be on the 17th of February at 6 p.m. and on Sunday, the 21st of February at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. Come play a game, maybe even pitch your own. This stream is a chance to meet the committee and raise some money for charity. I don't know why I was about to say what game I'm playing. Vivek's about to introduce that. You can join in on the conversation in the chat. The charity that we are raising money for is called FACE, Fight Against Cancer Edinburgh, and it's a cancer fund established in 1990 based in the Edinburgh Cancer Centre in the Western General Hospital in Edinburgh. The funds raised through FACE provide the little things that make a difference to patients and families who have been affected by cancer. FACE is run entirely by volunteers who have directly or indirectly been impacted by cancer. So if you have any money to spare, it was such a good cause. We'd love it if you can donate, we'd love it if you can and will donate. Now I'm just going to pass this over to Vivek, who is facilitating the game, who will just give a brief introduction and go over the rules.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Vivek.
Hi, Vivek.
So my name is Vivek Santayana. I'm the Quality and Wellbeing Officer at Geas, and I'm also the person who somehow got volunteered to host tonight's game. So, you know, as it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, we are playing a special Valentine's Day themed game. So, you know, think back to high school. Those halcyon days of youthful hijinks, of, having a great time at school, enjoying all your... Wait a second, sorry, no. What am I talking about? High school sucked. Like, we all know we've had tough times growing up because, being a teenager is a lot of drama. And that's what this game is about. Dealing with just how much high school can sometimes be a pain, but there are some things we look forward to, like being able to dance with the person we fancy at prom. This game is a game called Goth Prom. This is a rules light RPG by Robert Denton III about love and dread, published in 2018 by Gallant Knight Games. It's available to buy on DriveThruRPG, and if you enjoy watching the stream and fancy playing it yourself, why not support the designer and buy a copy? You might even want to pitch it at our Valentine's Day one-shot. But this game is about teenagers who are monsters, who are going to prom, where, well, they don't really want to be at prom because prom's all about the normies doing all this stereotypical heteronormative stuff. But we, on the other hand, are going because there are people we fancy whom we want to dance with, and this is our one chance to do so. So yeah, that's what the premise of the game is. It's a GM-less, very rules-light, narrative-focused system. So I'll be playing a character as well as just facilitating the game. The way the game works is there will be 7 scenes, and each scene will have its own rules. I'll explain those rules as and when we get to them. But each of us is playing a character. And our characters have various secrets, like people they fancy, things that secretly turn them on. And anytime something like that happens, it will impact the narrative in a dramatic way. We'll talk about most of the rules as we get into the game, so we won't bog you down with that just now. But just bear in mind that each of our characters have some really big secrets that we're hiding, and it's up to all the other players to guess what that secret is. And just to remind you what Robin said, you can join in the conversation in the chat. Loads of you have already done that. Another thing I'd like to do is remind everyone about the charity. Fight Against Cancer Edinburgh is a local charity that is doing tremendous work in supporting survivors who are living with cancer as well as their families. Please do donate. You can do so at on our Twitch page right below. Any money you can spare will go towards a good cause. And it's a local charity as well, where every little bit of money you donate makes a huge impact. So that's mostly it in terms of the introduction for the game tonight. Now I'm just going to pass it over to everyone else to introduce the characters that they're playing. So for example, my character's name is Stan Driver. His pronouns are he, him. He's a conspiracy theorist yeti. He is really into Taylor Swift, like really into Taylor Swift. He also has a very dirty sense of humor, and he also hosts his own podcast. Robin, do you want to go next?
Okay, hi, I'm Robin, and I'm playing Keely, who is Eagle Mothman. Her name may or may not be a reference to the author of the Mothman prophecies. She has a TikTok account and a big following. She likes kawaii gamer things, and she loves it when people shower her with gifts. Also, I'm very upset, but I did hand embroider the phrase Mothman fucks to my t-shirt, and you can't see it.
I'm distraught, quite honestly. I am playing Bob, who his pronouns are he, him, and he's a horny Bigfoot. He's a big old Bigfoot, and he's kind of horny on main. I mean, there's not much to describe about him. That's basically his entire personality. However, just imagine Bigfoot, but like kind of make him sexy. Oh, and he has a tie. He wears no other clothes except this tie, and that is his character.
Also, congratulations, Duncan, for making a character concept that will get you auto-modded for posting about it in our Twitch chat.
Yes, perfect. Anyone who says my name shall be smited by the ban hammer. So,
Claire, do you want to go next?
Succeeded.
Yeah, I'm playing Jack, the parkour twink jackalope. His pronouns are he, him. He's very skinny and has a puffy tail. Jumps over too many benches in a completely non-ironic way, and helps out with the primary school play each year.
I'm playing Nessie. Her pronouns are she, her. She is the preppy edition of the Loch Ness Monster. She is an Instagram influencer who is also a plesiosaurus, who can't stay off of her phone, takes the most elusive pictures you will find on Instagram, and does not respect you unless your follow count is at minimum like a 10th smaller than hers. Anything below that, she's got no interest in you.
Great. This is our very motley cast of characters tonight. We are all going to be at prom. Before we get started, there's one last thing I'm going to bring up, and those of you who've been to Geas will probably know exactly what I'm going to say. We at Geas take safe play culture very seriously, and that's why if there is any content at the game that the players will find distressing, everyone knows that they can call for a break anytime to talk out of character about what happened, so that we can resolve any conflict and find any reconciliation that we might need. This is perfectly okay. This is normal communication at the table. You might have seen us do the same thing in our stream last time. We'd like to model that kind of conduct just to set an example for what we mean when we say using T cards and safe play cultures at tables. Cool, so that's all of the setup out of the way. Without any further ado, it's time for us to cut to prom. So, like I said, prom kind of sucks. It's most of the normies doing their own normal stuff. It's all very heteronormative, very cheesy. But you know what? Sometimes you just want the chance to dance, even if it's just at prom, with that someone whom you fancied for a long time and you finally worked up the courage to tell them. So, the first scene of the game is us arriving at prom. So in this scene, each of us will narrate how it is our characters arrive. This game has a very interesting mechanic in that we are going to be literally playing with a timer. So I'm going to set a timer on my phone and I will call when the scene is done. And as the timer runs, we will need to roleplay whatever happens, and certain dramatic things will happen as the timer expires. So the first scene is arrival. All the characters will arrive at prom. Each player describes their character, how they arrive, what they're wearing, their visible mood, and if they're going as each other's prom dates, they describe how they interact with each other and where they had dinner together and why it was at Arby's. Cool. So starting very quickly, I think what would be the best order for us to do this? I suppose it probably makes sense if it's the four of us who are going together.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a limo pulls up. Obviously, it's prom. You're going to take a limo, and
What
for-
anyone from the outside sees as soon as this limo pulls up is the door is kicked open and the biggest, sexiest foot just like launches itself out. And just one like foot at a time, then like this just grand, majestic figure steps forth, slams the door shut behind him. Everyone else has to get out the other side. This is his entrance, and he just struts, just head straight on, model face, and struts into prom.
Well, Jack had been about to get out that door, had very narrowly avoided being shut in the door, and so managed to scoot out and hop ahead, probably vaulting the nearest like bollard, which the limo's just cruised by outside the school, to kind of like sidle in alongside at the same time as Bob.
Cool. How does Keely arrive?
She kind of waits for everyone else to leave, and then she like hops out of the limo, and she's just wearing like a skirt and a small slogan top because she doesn't care about prom. She's too cool, and she has like a little handbag, and she just kind of like trots in after everyone, and she's very excited.
Cool. And Keely waits for everyone else to leave, but obviously Keely cuts ahead of Stan, because Stan is busy getting stuff from the limo's boot. You see, he's made an effort. He's wearing trousers and a shirt. He's not bothered to wear a suit. His tie is dangling really loose. I don't know why I as a player dressed like this. Anyway. And he's rummaging in the boot, and you see he pulls out a boom, like a microphone boom, a recording kit, a couple of lavalier microphones, a spare battery pack, a Zoom H6 recorder. He's brought his whole podcast kit with him, because obviously he's not just here for prom. He's here to make a radio documentary for his podcast. So that's everyone arriving. That's the four of us arriving, because all four of us were on a double date. However, there's one person who wasn't with us. Where's Nessie?
You see another limo pull up behind your limo, because she paid for it with her sponsorship money. You see the chauffeur get out and open the door for her as she demanded, and steps out. I mean, plesiosaurs are already tall, but a plesiosaur standing on its hind fins is probably monstrously tall. She's wearing a very sequiny mermaid-shaped gown, and she's got matching like clutch somehow being held by one of her fins. You can't quite figure out how that works, but she kind of gets out, looks around, checks her phone real quick. Yep, people are waiting for her to start her Instagram live from inside prom, and then she struts in, probably cruising past Stan and all of his equipment, and just kind of giving him a little look and just being like, and then walking in.
Nice, cool. So all of us have now arrived at prom. We now have 10 minutes to roleplay and entering the prom and answering the following questions together and working with the answers. Where is the prom located? Is it the school gym, the cafeteria, a hotel ballroom, a graveyard? What are the decorations like? Tasteful, tacky? Who's doing the music? Did they get a DJ, or is it someone's dad? Is there a band, or is it just a boombox with a CD? And where are the eats? Is there punch? Are there finger sandwiches? Does it have gluten? So I'm starting the timer now. And yeah, there was bunting. There was bunting in wherever we are. The trouble is, a lot of it got tangled in this long boom pole that Stan was just carrying and like dragging in. And you see it's yanking all the bunting off the walls as he's walking in, and he's like, sorry. And it's getting tangled up in all of his mic cables and everything.
I love it. Just all the decorations are just falling off the wall as like this bunting just gets snagged on all sorts of stuff. That's incredible. Where are we actually hosting the prom, do we think? Is it like a really like small? I feel like it'd be really funny if it was a really, really small venue, because all of our characters are quite large.
Yeah.
I feel like
Just
it'd
like
be
a
funny
really
if it
low ceilinged
was at the school gym. If we were all just in a high school gym.
school gym.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great. So who's doing the music?
I feel like it's just like a really old fashioned, like one of those like triple layer record player, tape deck, CD changer things that they've wheeled in from like the IT cupboard.
Yeah.
And it's really, really old and they don't have a lot of CDs.
I think it's also the caretaker is probably the one who's doing the CD thing, which is
Playing it.
why Stan has managed to get in with the equipment and managed to knock down the bunting, because he's too busy sorting out the disc array to clean up after the several monstrosities. And
The kids' version of WAP is playing.
No.
Oh no.
Wings and pizza.
Upon hearing the kids' version of WAP playing, Bob, still strutting from his entrance, just takes center stage on the dance floor and just he starts like twerking. He's using all of that bouquet and he is showing off. He's trying to get
Nessie's-
like just everyone's attention. All eyes on him.
Nessie sees this and opens up her Instagram live so that she can start like streaming Bob's dancing, but she's not just like videoing the dancing, she's like holding it up like this so you can see her and then the dancing going on behind.
Having like clocked Nessie like shining a camera on me, like Bob struts straight over to Nessie and like grabs for your hand and is like, "Would you care for a dance, madam?"
Nessie will kind of look at the hand, look at Bob, look at what the suggestions in the live stream chat are saying. They want her to dance, so she'll take his hand and just be like, "Aye, all right then."
As soon as we dance, however, I'm like definitely making this into kind of a competition. Like you can just kind of tell that I'm trying to show off, like you're kind of my accessory in this. And I think we should do our like first test to see who dances better in this.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. So the way the system works is, anytime any of us feel it would be interesting if a situation were tense and dramatic, we can call for a test, and that forces a player to make a skill check. The way you make a skill check is you roll a d8. You are aiming to roll a 5 or above. If this is something your monstrous nature would be good at, then you get a +1. If it's something that you think would be especially difficult for someone of your kind, then you get a -1. It's as easy as that.
See, now I can't tell if having big feet would make me a really clumsy dancer or if it would make me like perfectly balanced. Like I don't.
I mean, if you have big feet and they're both left, then you're kind of
Yeah,
stuffed.
exactly, precisely.
What's that move they used to do in 80s like break dancing when you get on the floor and you like go clap and do it under your leg?
Cool. So who's rolling that test then?
Yeah, oh, that's a good point, because we can't roll it versus each other, right? It's just one person rolls. Unless we both roll and see who fails and who succeeds.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine that Bigfoot is automatically putting in more effort,
Yeah.
so you
I'll
can do the
definitely
roll
roll
if you
for it.
want.
Sure. Yeah, that's a 7 for me.
Cool. So that succeeds. How do you steal the show?
I mean, just flexing and I'm like using you as like a prop, so I'm like twirling you and things, but very much like I'm in control of this dance, and like I like lift you up at certain points and like kind of bench press you. As while I'm doing this, I'll like wink at different people in the crowd, and yeah, just really getting all that attention.
Keely's very impressed by this and comes up near Bob and starts doing like TikTok dances.
Cool.
She's definitely given one of these.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah,
And-
Jack started some break dancing moves. Not his absolute speciality, but there's definitely some of that kind of spinning around on the floor, then realizing no one's watching and getting back up again.
Great.
Yes.
And while this is happening, you notice that how the caretaker was trying to ignore, well, was busy with the DJing and was trying to ignore the fact that Stan got all the bunting tangled in his mic boom. Well, Stan is now having a word with the caretaker to try and put in a request for songs. He's saying, can we play? Can we like Evermore has come on. Can we put something from Evermore for the dance? Come on, let's liven things up a little bit. And is basically arguing with the caretaker about how he can't put any of Taylor Swift's new albums on the tape deck because it literally is a tape deck, and Stan doesn't have the song on tape but has it on like streaming software. So he's arguing with the caretaker, just saying, what do you mean you don't have a lead? We could, maybe if we connected using a 3.5 and then an XLR jack, and then we can use an adapter to plug it into the tape deck, and then maybe we can use an auxiliary input here, as basically trying to come up with a long convoluted way of trying to get them to play Taylor Swift.
So much
Incredible.
effort for Taylor Swift.
This is me in my mum's car trying to figure out how I'm gonna put
How to
music.
get it to work? Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, incredible.
Cool. Right. So, while this is going on, obviously, like prom is quite busy. There are loads of people milling about. And, well, it's someone, it is of course prom for, the final year students, but a lot of other hangers-ons have also managed to come in somehow. Whose sibling do we not want here?
I imagine Jack, being part rabbit, has a lot of siblings, like a lot. Like his mum will have wrangled him into a tie, being like, each one of your 10 older brothers was in a tie to prom, you're wearing one too. So I don't know, any one of those, younger or older, would probably be appropriate.
What if all of them? Why not just every single one? The whole family.
Letter.
The whole borough.
Cool. So, here's the thing, right? One thing the school is good at is getting alumni to do unpaid labor. So they got all of Jack's siblings to be chaperones at the prom.
Oh no.
And all of them are now, coming around to, one of them comes up and has a very firm word with Stan about, arguing about the music, and only songs that have been approved by the PTA can be played. One of them goes and has a word with Keely about the rendition of wedges and pizza. And a lot of them go to Bob and Nessie, insisting that they maintain at least 3 inches between them when they dance.
You're kind of ruined my vibe.
So, you see a bunch of jackalopes come up to you and said, "I'm sorry, but you need to be at least 3 inches apart." And they hold up their paws, measuring 3 inches.
I think we should integrate into our dance a fight sequence to like push them back. Just knock them out.
Just perform Black Swan.
No, I don't want any trouble. I want to make sure that all interactions between students are wholesome and appropriate, and we also need to make sure that all revelry is contained and in good spirit.
What's a better spirit than dance, my friend?
Yes, well, yes, I mean, you're welcome to dance. No one's stopping you from dancing. It's just you must make sure you maintain the minimum permissible distance between yourself and anyone you are dancing with.
Oh, okay, I'll back off from her then. And I back way closer into him. And like just get really like up in his like zone and be like,
No,
hey.
you're way too close to my personal space.
Sure, you don't want to dance? And I offer a hand to him.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, this I'm gonna say this is a challenge for you, but actually this is a challenge for you, Bob, to see whether
Okay.
you can charm your way out of the situation.
Perfect. I'm just gonna dance with people all evening as a oh no, apparently not successfully. That was a 2.
Oh no. Oh
So
no.
so here's the thing, right? The jackalopes sort of know that when they're dealing with bigger, tougher students, strength in numbers. So Jack, you
What?
notice half your family now converge in a semicircle around Bob. Bob, are you embarrassed or angry?
I think I'm embarrassed. No, no, angry. I think I'm angry. I'm being ganged up on.
Cool.
I feel
Mark 1
threatened.
point of angry.
Yes.
So, rules aside, in this system, when you fail a roll, you get to choose whether your character becomes embarrassed or angry. This has bearings later on in the game. Towards a later session, you can spend your points of embarrassment or anger to try and change the direction the plot takes. So right now, Bob is angry. What does this anger look like?
Or he storms off. He's like, fine, if you don't want to appreciate my form. And then again, he gives like a little flex and then just puffs his chest and walks away.
Cool. Jack, your family has just caused this. Your family has just caused Bob
Jack's
to storm
been
away.
doing that awkward hopping on the edge of the dance floor of, like trying to get in, but no, that, and will eventually kind of approach now that Bob stormed off and be like, Frank, guys, what? Mum said that you all were busy tonight. What are you doing here?
Yeah, we're busy tonight. We're chaperones.
Yes, why? God, I bet she signed you all up for this, didn't she?
No, we're just upstanding members of the alumni community, and we wanted to do our part for, school spirit and nostalgia. And one of the others say, and free booze.
We gotta make sure we look after our little brother, and like he grapples you in like a little head knot and starts giving you like a little noogie.
Oi. Well, just remember when, just don't cramp my style, okay? Just back off. You can chaperone the other kids. Just leave me and my mates alone. It's you wouldn't have wanted this when you were my age. Just back off. Stop being weird.
You can see Nessie kind of like in the very edge of the scene, like holding her phone up, typing like hashtag never lose family, hashtag cramping my style, hashtag love is love.
Amazing.
And meanwhile, some of you probably overhear a David Attenborough style voiceover coming from Stan saying, "And here we see the Jackalope family as they go about looking after each other and showing their familial bonding in a time of revelry and joyous celebration, often in ways that might be considered somewhat cramping the style of their younger siblings." And just, is now recording his podcast as this is happening.
While this is happening, Keely will like run over to Stan and be like, "What you doing?"
Oh, I'm just sorry. I've got to do that take again now. I'm recording for my podcast later.
Oh, that's so interesting. How many followers do you have?
Well, I mean, okay, so that's the timer. So that brings us to the end of the scene. But he says, so I've got about 8,000 downloads a month every time on iTunes, and I about 3,000 followers on my Twitter feed.
Wow, you must get some sponsors then.
Well, it's more of a labor of love, and he starts talking technical details about how the podcasting biz is going. Cool, which brings us to the end of the arrival scene. Now, at the end of every scene, all the players get to choose which other character their character grew fond towards. In this game, each of us has a secret affection score for every other character, and the character we are most affectionate towards in the end will have a number of dramatic scenes with later on. So bear that in mind. All of this is secret, so we won't know about this until later on. So at the end of the scene, could all the players please mark which character they felt most affectionate towards during the scene? Also, each character has a number of what are called heart shudders. These are secret conditions which, when they get triggered, the character automatically gains affection. If any of them have triggered during the scene, again, resolve that. All of these will be secret, but we'll talk about them later on when they come up. Cool. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Excellent. So the scene is set. We've already had a dance-off between, well, Bob and anyone else who dared. But then Bob did leave in a bit of a huff. But, you know, it might have been a rough start, but that doesn't mean we can't mingle. And that's what Act 2 is about, mingling. In this scene, just act natural, hisses. That is literally the flavor text for the scene. Act natural, hisses. In this scene, characters mingle and hang out while everyone else has fun. Each of us rolls a d8, and we pick which minigame we play based on that result. Each of these minigames will last roughly 5 minutes, and by the end of the scene, hopefully there'll be interesting dramatic developments on what's happening. So could everyone roll a d8, please? I got a 6.
Which one
I
of us
got a
is going to
I
reroll?
got a 6. I'm happy to. I'll re-roll.
6s don't reroll.
No,
don't.
6s don't, but 3s do. Sorry, me and Robin have both got 3s.
I'll re-roll.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know.
Cool. So 1 is, I'm thirsty, get me a drink. You offer it. You offer to get at least one other character a drink from the snack bar. Set a timer for 5 minutes. The characters you are fetching drinks for talk about you while you're not there until the timer is up. After which point you return.
Nice.
Cool. Who are you getting a drink for?
Well, I just finished the last scene as Stan, so I feel like I will go get Stan a drink.
Cool. Right. And I'm going to say Stan is going to talk to the others of the posse who were meant to be double dating tonight. But obviously we got a little carried away going off, you know, making a dramatic entrance.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start the timer now. And Stan's going to say to both Jack and Bob, oh, you know, it's been great fun. I didn't know Keely actually was interested in my podcast. Like, she was talking to me about getting sponsorship and everything. That's so cool.
Oh, interesting. You
know,
can tell
I
he
never-
isn't very interested.
Yeah. See, I never thought about getting sponsorship, actually. I think Keely's got a great idea. I was just doing this as a hobby, but wow, if I can get sponsorship, then maybe I might be able to make this more than just a hobby. Anyway, I'm really glad Keely gave me that idea. It's well, food for thought.
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's a shame, to be fair, you don't do like visual stuff, you know, like video and that. Because you know, like if you ever needed someone to do any like cool intros, like jumping stuff or any cool stunt stuff, that would be really cool as an intro. But it's just because it's just a podcast, it's just sound like, I mean, you saw Bob's moves out there, like even that you should consider doing something else.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I saw that Nessie had her phone out. She was getting video footage of a whole evening, all of my moves, all those shapes that I was throwing. And I think I caught the eye of quite a few of her followers. So yeah, I mean, I think it's time for you to get into new media, my guy.
I'm just saying it's maybe a bit outdated, just the sound and that, you know, you kind of...
Yeah, I see what you mean, but you know, it's not as much as I see what you mean about, you know, the importance of having video. You have to remember that when you're watching video, you are stuck on having to watch it on a device and dedicate all of your attention to it, you know, watch it on YouTube or wherever else. But if it's audio, you can listen to it whilst you're commuting, you can, you know, listen to it whilst you're doing the laundry. It's a much more accessible medium, and it's a much more intimate medium than video. And yeah, Stan is going to start defending the podcast form. Cool.
fuck
So I'm gonna say this is a challenge for Stan to try and defend the
Sure,
honor of the
try-
podcast.
Actually, yeah,
Roll to defend podcast.
defending podcast. That was definitely a +1 as well, since you know
Yeah,
so
I
much
got an
about it.
8. So
Oh,
Oh,
you don't even need
Wow.
it.
so yeah. And and then he says, well, the podcast form is an art in itself, and sometimes it's an interesting challenge to have to economize with your descriptions in words of
know what?
having to talk about something like, take for example, Bob's show earlier today. It's quite an interesting challenge to have to describe the fluidity and the exuberance of his movements with such an effortless grace to them that despite what some might see as a surprisingly ungainly gait, Bob is able to take what are people's preconceptions about his movement and turn them entirely on their head into a very elegant display, and basically goes and repeats his
Oh,
spiel from his earlier
yeah.
David Attenborough phase.
maybe
As long as you mention my thick abs, then you're all fine.
maybe Keely's right. Keely's right, I guess. I mean, I do listen to a lot of things while I'm running, but maybe I should try listening to the podcast. Especially, yeah, if you did something on like dance or something, that would be cool.
Well, I hadn't thought about that. I might branch out to different subjects.
Bit of an awakening for Stan.
Cool. So, who wants to frame the next scene? Duncan, do you want to go next?
Yeah, can do. My scene was number 3, which is rumors fly. And it's that the jocks are spreading rumors again. So in any order, each player invents a rumor about others are telling about their character. And then these can be true, these can be false, this can be kind of half true. And then we set a timer for 5 minutes and we all discuss our rumors with each other. And so, yeah. What's a rumor about Bob gonna be? I feel like the jocks are gonna be intimidated by Bob's incredibly athletic form. And they're going to be spreading a rumor that he's been, taking like some steroids or some performance enhancing substances. And yeah, they're like knocking his actual beauty.
Cool. What's the rumor about Jack?
I think the rumor about Jack is probably he's really into a kind of happy married family life with lots and lots and lots of kids, and that's why his last relationship broke up, was because he started talking about having lots of kids.
So cute. Oh, so precious.
And what about Nessie?
I think there's a rumor going around that she buys her followers.
Oh,
They're
dear.
actually all fake accounts
Scandalous.
and bots. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the rumors about Stan are fairly obvious. Nothing he says on his podcast is true.
The rumors about Keely are that she puts on her uwu voice.
Well, it's just not natural.
Well, she talks like this all the time.
Cool. So, it's 5 minutes of us reacting to the rumors.
Perfect.
Right. So, how does Nessie feel about the allegations that she buys all of her followers?
Oh, Nessie is raging. You've never seen a plesiosaurus look scarier than the current resting bitch face she's got going on. She's just kind of like, she'll sidle over to Keely and just kind of be like, do you fake any of your followers?
No.
No, because neither do I. But apparently everyone thinks I do.
I don't think you do.
Thank you.
You just get lots of sponsorships. I wish I could get sponsorships.
I think you could too, but you might have to drop the ooh voice just a wee bit.
But this is my voice.
Is it actual?
Yeah?
Because everyone's saying you're faking it.
Oh. I can't help it if I just sound like this.
No, I think it's adorable. I think you sound real cute. It's just, you know, apparently lots of rumors are going around.
Listen, don't tell anyone that I put this voice on because I'm making so much money on my Discord. You call a guy a PogChamp just once, and you never have to buy Discord Nitro ever again. I can teach you if you want.
Teach me all of your secrets.
Also, did you know that Discord is actually owned by a subsidiary of a company that has been manufacturing all manner of cybernetic mind control technology that they've been implanting into smartphones to make sure that people who play games online can be easily manipulated into political agendas. You know, especially when humans have elections coming up, they just use social media like Discord to manipulate people into voting for whichever candidate they think would be the most reactionary.
That's not true. My one of my dad's brothers works for that company. That's not true. He said that there was some Reddit forum spreading stuff like that around. So you might have to do a bit more research.
No, the thing is, they're in on it. They're all made to sign NDAs and are, you know, given like massive threats. So and massive legal threats if they try and blow the whistle. They're all in on it. These tech corporations. You cannot trust tech corporations, especially not big social media giants.
I mean, get back to me when Stan's saying anything true.
Yeah.
At least,
Hear my voice?
at least you can actually hear what I'm saying, and you don't have like muffled audio quality of someone's smartphone microphone.
I'll have you know, I got a perfect sponsorship for an add-on mic that I just plug in and clip to the top of my phone, so my followers can all hear me perfectly.
I'm sorry, but I can't hear you over the crisp sound of my Rode NT1.
There's my little PogChamp with his crisp microphone.
Oh Lord.
Horrifying.
Cab driver definitely buys Mothman's bathwater. I'm just putting it out. That's a new rumor that I'm circulating.
That should have been my rumor.
Oh my
Right.
God.
That took a turn.
She definitely does. I don't think it's
It's not hidden. It's like publicized all over her page.
yeah.
Oh man.
Right. Cool. After that rumor scene, Claire, what did you get?
I got a 6.
Nice.
Which is the secret scene, right? Cool. Okay. I'll pick Nessie and Bob to also do the secret scene. Remind me how this works. Is it the 5-minute, like just
Sure.
a brief one?
So the way this works is choose up to 2 players in any order, one at a time. Each of these players invents or improvises a brief scene in which they hint at their character's terrible secrets. They cannot say what it is outright, but they can otherwise be as overt or as subtle as they wish. They can introduce supporting characters if they wish, then set a timer for 5 minutes and role play out the scene together, including character reactions and suspicions. If the character guesses your terrible secret, you can decide if you're embarrassed or angry.
Okay. In which case, Bob is in the bathroom at prom, and anyone who enters will see him just going to town itching. Like he's just really scratchy, and he's just trying his best to just like get everywhere. Like as someone walks in, he's like just like in quite an awkward pose, and then he like quickly corrects himself and like turns around and he's like, "Oh, hey there."
Bobby, you okay? I find if you get your like hind leg in, that can really
Claire,
help.
could we just talk about everyone's scene first, and then
Oh
we
yeah, no,
can...
sure, that's fine.
Yeah. So what about your scene then, Claire?
Okay,
Sorry, Jack.
I think this is probably there's some like Easter displays in the corridor in the school, and Jack's taking a breather and is wandering around and casually like especially around the some of the younger kids' work, going around and kind of removing the occasional photo that's been put up from around there.
Cool. And what about Nessie?
Nessie's probably she's in the very corner of the hall on her phone, as she would be. And anyone who can like catch a glimpse of what she's doing on her phone can kind of see like it looks like she's Google searched something about Scotland. Like the little Google image bit at the top is showing like the Salter flag, and she's kind of
Amazing.
scrolling down at articles and stuff.
Nice.
Okay.
Cool. So, right. So, what is your so yeah? How are all of you going to be in this scene where you can role play out the scene together and your reactions and suspicions towards each other?
We're all in separate places, right? No, wait, no, you two are both out in the hall.
Yeah.
At the very least. In which case, I don't need to be in the bathroom. I can also be in the hall. It doesn't matter where I am. So let's just say that, yes, like we've all taken a breather and I'm scratching, going to town in the corner, and everyone else doing their same thing in wherever they are. I think like not really paying attention to everything else that's going on, Bob would turn around and be like, hey, can you give me a hand here?
Absolutely. Is it just down? It's okay. Me and
just
my
there.
family do it all the time.
Yeah,
like,
just really need a good scratch, and he just like just bends over and just like points at various places. And he's like, oh yeah, that's the stuff. That's the stuff. There you go. There. Oh, that hits the spot. Oh, thanks. Oh yeah. What were you doing in the car?
Around,
just helping with the displays, just making sure everything was all up to scratch. Yeah.
Oh, seems pretty weird to be doing that in a prom.
Well, I think they'd just put it up last week. And I've not been in for a while, so because my mum was having triplets, so I had to help out at home. So I've not been in and seen it up, which is why it's up now.
Oh, okay.
Are you in charge of decorations?
I mean, I sometimes help out with like the little kids, especially on like festivals and that. It's quite. I think they enjoy it. They say I'm kind of good with kids. Full of energy and all that.
I see. It's pretty lame. I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, no, it's because I have
hanging out
to.
with kids.
Yeah, no, my mum says I have to, and she was like, I'm not going to let you go out if you don't. So, like, I mean, I don't enjoy it really. It's just,
I mean, I don't know, Bob. It seems like family vlogs get a lot of followers these days.
Oh, true. Actually, what sort of demographics is that hitting?
Oh no.
I didn't think it's the kind of demographics you're hitting, Bob.
I don't know.
No, I
I've talked to a few mothers in my time, if you know what I mean.
Bob likes MILFs.
That's not what he
Christ,
said.
Bob.
Necessarily.
Yeah, no, I imagine like some people are really after handsome dancers and handsome feet, eh?
You think they're handsome?
Well, I mean, they're certainly big.
Well, I try to get my reps in with my my feet 10 times a day,
Oh yeah,
See,
no.
She's like, you know what? You've heard it here, guys. You know what they say about big feet.
Oh yeah.
It's true. Ladies, gents.
Cool.
Oh, beautiful.
So Nessie, what number did you roll?
I rolled an 8.
Nice.
Which I think is
That's
the
another
same thing,
Secrets Fun
right?
Secrets. Yep.
It is another Secrets of Fun Secrets. Cool. I guess I'll bring in Stan and Keely for my one then. Get an even
Mhm.
spread.
Hmm.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, no, I guess same kind of scenario. Nessie's still walking about with like this link up on her phone, just kind of like reading stuff through, whilst also then flipping back to the Instagram live so she can like, you know, keep streaming the whole thing, but then flipping back to this page and looking through this page.
Cool. And you notice that Stan is in a similar you basically bump headlong into Stan, and both of you drop your phones and do that awkward thing of trying to find your phone and then realizing you picked up the wrong person's, and the phone was locked so you don't see what the other person's screen was. But Stan gets really frantic as well. Like Stan was also looking up something that might have been oddly weird that he'd be looking up in the first place. Shouldn't it be stuff that he knows, given how much he claims he does research?
Keely has also looked up something on her phone. She's kind of got open what seems to be a score table for a first-person shooter.
Shocking.
Nice.
Absolutely shocking.
Cool. So so I'm gonna say, so when so all of us bump into each other, all of us drop our phones, and Stan says, when people say we spend too much time on our phones, I think that they're starting to have a point.
Nah, I think they're just jealous because they don't have high enough followings.
I always have to have my phone out just so I can text back all my little pog champs.
Ooh. Wait, are you in frequent contact with your PogChamps?
Yeah?
Oh, I was actually wanting to do a feature about navigating parasocial relationships. Would you like to be a guest on my podcast at some point?
Sure, anything for you.
Great. I really want to get someone's insight, get someone who's like really famous and popular on the podcast, to get their insight on what it's like to have to deal with fans who sometimes see you as much more of a close friend than you think of them. I'm sure someone like you with like the big following you have would I'm sure someone like you with the big kind of following you have would be immensely helpful to talk to.
That's so nice of you. I'd love to be on your podcast.
Oh, great. It'd be nice to have you there as well.
We should work on getting you some sponsorships, though.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
You see Nessie silently seething in the background. It's just like...
Yeah, and Stan sort of says, yeah, I've been having a hard time trying to, market this to the right kind of sponsor. I keep feeling like, I don't know, like the audience of my podcast is big, but not the right kind. I don't think the right kind of people are listening to it. And it's a different demographic from what I'm actually, I'm catering to a different demographic from the one that I'm actually producing for, if that makes sense.
Well, I'd be more than happy to help if you could maybe give me a Steam gift card.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
a new game that's out, and I just really want to play it.
Sure, yeah, is it a single player or multiplayer?
It's multiplayer. I'd be more than happy to play with you.
Ooh, nice. What kind of game is it?
It's like a farming game, because I only play games where there's cute things.
Cool. So what is Nessie doing?
Nessie just looks silently raging. She's just watched this whole thing unfold, just like, I'm right here. I'm literally right next to you. So she'll probably just like be looking at her phone, like clearly biting her tongue, and then when they kind of quieten down, she'll be like, I mean, I'm not sure who has the most followers between me and Keely here. Don't know if that matters at all. I just think maybe y'all need to think about this a little bit more.
I mean,
you definitely have more followers than me, but do you message them as much as I do?
Oh, I don't private message them, but I like answer questions in Q&As.
See, I think Stan is trying to talk about how much I message my followers. Maybe if you messaged your followers a bit more, you could be on Stan's podcast too.
No, it's okay. I wouldn't want to be on Stan's small little podcast anyway. And then she'll walk off.
Okay, this sounds like a test for Stan to, deal with being insulted straight to his
Stand up
face.
for himself.
I am repping the podcast today. I got an
Honestly.
8.
Oh my god. Beautiful.
So apparently Stan has found the hill he will die on. He's a, it may be small, but it's more important for me to develop a quality and loyal quality audience and a small fan following than it is for me to just shoot for big numbers and be a sellout. And he a soapbox appears from nowhere, and Stan gets up on it and says, people of our high school unite. You have not. No, wrong speech. We need to stand up for for the audio arts. Just because we don't have flashing images to lull us into complacency of a YouTube attention span doesn't mean that. And you see his voice just drone on and fade away.
Nessie's moved far enough away that you can't really hear what Stan's saying, but she's got her live stream up again, and she's like, and here we can see the difference between the visual influencer and the audio influencer. Starts pulling some poses.
Halfway through Stan's speech, Kiwi probably is just run back into the main hall to go and see if there's any cute snacks on the snack table that she can make TikToks out of.
Nice.
An ASMR snack box TikTok.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If we
Cool.
just end that scene
Okay,
there, then
no
we
worries.
can pick up after.
The disembodied voice you heard was Sophie, who's our producer, who's advised us that because of technical difficulties, we need to take a short break. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Mothman loves Sophie.
Okay. No worries. Yes.
Okay.
We're actually live now? Yeah, we're live!
Yay! Woo!
Everyone, thank you all so much for your patience. We were having some technical issues, but hopefully we fixed them now, and the quality of your stream has also improved. Thank you all so much for your patience. We appreciate you sticking with us through these minor hiccups. Because we are the pros that we are, we're going to pick up right from where we left off and pretend that never happened. So at the end of that last scene, we have finished the second act. At the end of every act, the players once again will have to choose which character they grew affectionate towards. So could everyone mark affection towards the character whom they felt they grew closer to? you only gain affection on characters in the first 3 acts. So the next act will be your last opportunity to gain affection on each other. Remember that going forward. And once again, if any of your heart shudders were triggered, you immediately give that character a point of affection on you. So yeah.
Are we announcing if any of our heart shudders have been triggered? Out of interest.
No, we do that at the end.
Okay, at the end. Fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
What
Just checking.
happens if someone's affection, can it go over 3?
No, it can't go over 3.
And you said that we like only gain affection for the first 3 acts. Does that mean our heart shudders don't matter after the 3rd act?
Yeah.
Or okay,
Awesome.
that's fine.
Great. So that's the first 2 acts done. Now we're going up to Act 3. Act 3 is right. So, you know, you hear this altercation heat up between Nessie and between Nessie and Stan about different art forms. You can feel the tension, and suddenly the tension is just cut through by something Bob will definitely appreciate as you hear those fateful words that go to the heart of a generation and nay to indeed a culture in an entire country. The long anticipated words, "Coming out of my cage, I was doing just fine."
And I gotta be down because I want to know.
The next act is dance.
Dance! Yes.
Oh, hey, I guess we should, you know, dance or whatever. In this scene, characters dance. In any order, each character asks another to dance. Characters may choose to accept or decline. If they accept, you both sway and spin a web together on the dance floor. If they decline, you dance alone unless someone else asks you to dance and you accept. If you already accepted, you don't ask anyone. You already have a partner. Then, in any order, a dancing pair gets a 5-minute turn to decide or role play what happens when they're dancing together. Being sure to answer the following questions. How are you dancing? Describe it in as much detail as you'd like and what your dancing looks like. And what do you talk about? Either describe or role play the conversation you're having on the dance floor.
Beautiful.
If you dance alone, you go at the end. So,
Okay.
Who's dancing with whom?
Oh, this is decisions.
I feel like Keely would ask Stan to dance. And she would try and teach Stan some TikTok dances.
Oh my god.
You know what? I'm going to say yeah. Yeah,
Beautiful.
absolutely. Stan has been really curious and enamored by the art of TikTok and Discord. Yeah, so he's definitely going to be into it.
Yeah, Keely like is when she's dancing with him and teaching him the TikTok dance moves because Stan's interested in it. She'll like go into like the deep lore of the Say So dance and explain how like the girl came up with it and then Doja Cat saw it because it went viral, and then they just have a discussion about how things go viral and what happens when they go viral.
Cool.
What I love is that you're doing the Doja Cat dance to Mr. Brightside. If we're going off what
Oh no,
the
I'm
sound
probably
is.
doing Rasputin to Mr. Brightside.
Oh, even better.
Yes.
Cool. So what about the others? Who else is dancing?
Oh,
I think Nessie's gonna ask Bob if he wants to. I think she's gonna come up, but just kind of do the whole like act like she doesn't actually care, but she's gonna like. I mean, you know, it just, you know, it really spiked my views when we were dancing earlier. So I was just thinking.
I'm sorry, babe. I only dance with one. I can only dance with one once per night. I'm sorry. It would be unpopular if I danced with you again. And I like just turn my heels on you and turn straight to Jack, and I'm like, hey, do you want to dance?
Oh, yeah, that would be yeah, you're not already yeah, I was going to ask yes. Yeah.
That's a yes.
That's a yes.
So hop on the dance floor, and I like.
Cool. So everyone who dances now gets a short. So every pair gets a short 5-minute scene to describe and roleplay their dancing.
Okay.
Meanwhile, since Nessie doesn't have a partner, Nessie Nessie has a choice. Nessie can either dance alone after every pair has their turn, or you can cut in with any of the other pairs. If they accept, you both then get a short 3-minute dance to roleplay what happens. And after everyone has danced, I'll talk about what happens then.
Okay.
So remember, Nessie, you can cut in whenever, like you can cut in once others have finished dancing. So should we go with this in the same order that we described it? So Keely and Stan, and then Bob and Jack.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. So I guess Keely is dancing. Keely is showing Bob the moves, and Bob is trying. Sorry, Keely is showing Stan the moves, and Stan is trying to follow along.
Yeah.
What do the moves look like?
Oh, how do we do the Ross routine? So it's like they do a lot of squats and do their hands like that and kick their legs out. It's really complicated. There's a lot of like
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Okay.
it's
that
a
kind of
sight to
thing.
behold. Duncan can do it better than I can.
Right.
I used to do it on Just Dance. I was
about to
popping
ask if
off.
this was the Just
So,
Dance one.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Yeti's feet are actually backwards. So I'm going to say this is going to be a test for Stan, and Stan is going to have a -1 to this.
Okay, that makes sense.
And I rolled a 1, -1. I rolled a 0.
God, you rolled a literal 0.
So, yeah, I guess I fall down in a clattering heap on top of all my podcast equipment because who knew it'd be hard to dance with a boom mic.
Keely like, oh my god, are you okay? And then she like
Yeah, I'm fine. It's hard to balance. It's hard to balance when doing a squat when your feet are like mine.
oh, that's
no,
okay. I can teach you a
you know what?
different
I think I'm just gonna sit this one out. I don't think I can do these dances. These are way too complex for me.
Okay.
Stan is embarrassed.
Oh no.
Yikes, team. Poor guy.
Cool. So Stan
Right,
has
true.
1 point of embarrassment. The way embarrassment works is anytime in the future when there's a test, you can spend a point of embarrassment to try and re-roll the test. Or at the end of the 6th act, you can spend your embarrassment to run away from the disaster. Cool. So yes, Stan is just going to say, I think I'm going to sit this one out. What does Keely say?
It's like, oh, are you sure I could show you a different dance? Or maybe we could go see what food they have.
Yeah, food sounds good. Do they have gluten-free options? I kind of put on my RSVP that I'm celiac.
I mean, we could ask the janitor.
And then I like point over at the guy near the boombox.
Who is also doing the catering, apparently.
Yeah, he does all of it. They
Yeah.
they can't afford to get other people.
Yeah. So, we go up to Mr. Jackson and talk to him about the catering and the tech and like literally everything because he's literally the guy they get to do everything because we don't have the time or headspace to come up with more NPCs. Cool. Right. So what do we talk about though once, as we are going up to Mr. Jackson to try and get him to sort out the catering?
I feel like Keely would talk to you either about video games or your podcast.
Cool. And yeah, you notice that that Stan is being somewhat candid about his podcast and says, yeah, it is quite weird. Like it all started out as a hobby of mine, and then I got way too deep into it, and like I went proper method into my podcasting career, and I've been doing so much research and like doing so much field work for my podcast. It's been great stuff, like properly fascinating stuff. If I can get sponsorship for this, it'd be amazing because it's the kind of thing I really want to do for a career.
What's your podcast about?
Well, it's basically just a slice of life podcast where I talk about all the subtleties and insights of, day-to-day life as a teenager in the school.
Oh, okay. That sounds really cool. maybe if you started getting some more guests on, and maybe, you know, started getting them to talk more about themselves on that podcast, you get more viewers.
Yeah, like video game stuff especially. I think that'd be a really popular way of branching out and reaching a new audience.
Yeah, I love video games. I play the ones with the animals, and I have a pink Switch.
Oh, nice. Yeah. The one with all is that So yeah, so you end up having a conversation about Animal Crossing as this camera then pans to the people who are actually still on the dance floor. Take it away, Bob and Jack.
Hello. Yes. Bob takes Jack's hand. And I mean, I feel like Jack's quite like dexterous and can jump around and hop around quite a lot. And like in on the other like spectrum of that, I feel like Bob is very clumpy and awkward with his movements. Like he can dance, but it's very like slow, on the spot kind of vibes. So yeah, I'm like trying to keep up a little bit because actually you're like, I feel like Jack would probably be quite good at dancing, quite unsure, but like probably quite good. And yeah, Bob is just trying to like follow along, but he just takes moments to like pose and stuff and try and get as much attention as possible.
Yeah, no, Jack's definitely going to kind of notice that, because Jack's pretty good at dancing, like not just more break dancing, kind of gymnastic style dancing. It's kind of also the occasional singing along with the music and all this. So yeah, no, I think he'll kind of slow down and kind of when Bob's flexing and things like that, kind of lets him take center stage and then kind of hops around him as Bob stays center.
Perfect. Yeah, the limelight is on Bob, so Bob is happy with this arrangement.
What do the two of you talk about?
Ooh, that's a good question. So those kids that you help out with, do you teach them to rep and to get those mad gains?
I guess that would be a good idea. I mean, I'm not. I kind of more do the like stretching and like leaping type stuff. But if you ever wanted to come along and help, I mean,
Nessie has a choice. Nessie will either dance
not
alone
that you
after
I could bench press a few of those kids,
or you can cut in with anyone.
Yeah, no, they find that really. They find that really fun. I mean, once you get to know them, they're actually really fun to be around.
After everyone has danced,
not that you enjoy it, because it's boring being around kids.
Super lame. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good. I'll definitely think about it. How many kids can you stack on top of each? How many like health and safety do they? Because I feel like I could do 5. I think really just
5. Wow.
Yeah.
You must be strong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at me.
Yeah. Do you work out a lot? Dancing can be a really good form of exercise. Yeah.
I mean, I put my time in, don't we all? Just gotta hit the gym at least 8 times a week,
You're very, very dedicated, I must say. I'm in some kind of like clubs as well, but I'm sure, I could maybe go to the gym a bit more often.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for gym buddies. I'll spot you, bro.
Oh, well, consider me spotted. Although, no, I'm not actually spotted. I think it's kind of more dappled. My brother's spotted, but he doesn't need to come along. Unless he wanted to.
I mean, are you sure? And Bob looks around at all of your brothers that are around and like, they don't come everywhere with you.
No, they weren't meant to be here. They're they're just being weird. I mean, they're being boring and weird.
It'll be good to have some alone time then.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it's pretty busy at home all the time. You know, can't wait to get out and about. But
You can swing by my place anytime. It's a cave just off the highway.
a cave. Oh well. We kind of have. I live in a cave too, I guess. Kind of a cave. Yeah, no, that would be really nice.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'll swing around your place soon. It's the borough just off 85th, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Amazing.
And that's how I end. I like
consider
twirl you
me
away, and I'm like,
Consider me spotted has got to be my favorite line of the stream so far. So, Nessie, what are you going to do? Are you going to dance by yourself, or are you going to cut in with one of the others?
I mean, so here's the thing. The problem with cutting in with one of the others is only one of the couples is now dancing now. And the couple that is dancing, she's already been rejected by one of them.
yeah.
So you don't have
can
to cut
steal
in
Jack
the
from me.
dance. You can cut in on the conversation as well that they're having by the
That's
the
true.
buffet.
That's true. Yeah, screw it. Nessie will kind of like see that Stan and Keely are having a chat, and she'll just kind of wander over and see if she can cut it. And she'll just kind of walk over and she'll be like, do you mind if I join you?
Sure.
No, not at all.
She'll sit down next to, I don't know, if there's a spare seat next to either of them.
Yeah, yeah, there's a seat. Which seat do you want to take? Do you want to take a seat between them? Do you want to take a seat on either side?
She just sits down straight in between them.
Perfect. Perfect.
Whether there was a space there or not, she just kind of stands there and wait for them to part so she can sit down in between them.
Yeah. Like you're sitting awkwardly in like the armrest between two chairs or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly. She'll kind of she'll turn to Keely and be like, so I was thinking about becoming one of the gamer girls. I heard they get a lot of fame on the internet.
I mean, yeah, like it's, it takes a lot of work and a lot of time, but it's really fun, and you get to meet loads of people, and yeah, it's great. And then she just kind of like side eyes at Stan, and then like waits till there's a minute where Stan's like looking away and maybe not listening, and she's like, I'm currently like hustling this one, so could you we could talk about this like in depth, like alone later tonight, but I just got a free Steam Deck gift card. I'm trying to see if I can get anything else, so also
Okay.
the fact, I just want to point out that someone has put in the chat the lock clock block monster.
Obviously, that was Claire.
I like that.
Nessie will kind of like lean in and be like, oh, is there anything I can do to help with that?
I mean, I think it's going okay so far. But you'd probably have some luck with old footboy over there.
Oh, no, he kind of just rejected me. So I didn't think I got a chance there. But
But the
good
key
luck.
is it's like you gotta make them think that you're simping for them, but really they're simping for you.
But how do I simp for him while also being a strong, independent woman?
You don't. You be a strong, independent woman by yourself.
All right. In that case, I'll bounce. Leave you to it. But I mean, she kind of hands over her phone, just like, tell me, give me your Discord handle. I'll drop you a follow.
I'll text you, and then I'll come see you later, and we can have a chat about.
Absolutely. Awesome. Perfect.
By the way,
I'll
I love your outfit.
Oh, Ta,
Where did you get it?
You look so cute. Oh, I got this custom made for me. It was part of a sponsorship deal. But you look so cute. I love the not care attitude. It's beautiful. Would look amazing on your Instagram story.
Cool.
I bet with a New York filter, popping.
The trick is to look like an anime girl.
So that brings us to time for that scene. And before we move on to the dramatic twist that happens in this act, Just a reminder to everyone that, Geas is on Discord at http://geas.org.uk/discord. The Discord features, amongst other things, a channel called Geas Out of Context, for you to put any quotes that are out of context and hilarious. You might find tonight will provide you quite a gold mine of things for that channel. But anyway, so, as these conversations are happening, suddenly the mood changes. It is palpable because a power ballad starts playing, and this is the dreaded slow dance. Each pair gets a 3-minute turn to describe or roleplay what happens during the slow dance. Are there fireworks? Is it awkward? Or do you just not take it seriously? Let's flip things around and do it in the reverse order this time, because two of you are still on the dance floor. So what happens when the slow dance comes on?
Oh, wait, are we starting?
Yeah.
The Bob crew, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought this was
Oh, right, I
role-playing the
thought it was-
awkward silence. I thought you were
that
standing there
that
staring at each
also,
other.
yeah, that one.
Very
Sorry, I was
convincing.
really confused. I think there are fireworks and stuff, but I also think that as Bigfoot, I often get hunted. So the fireworks are reminiscent of other things. So like at first I'm like relaxing into it. I'm like, oh, like Jack, will you be my dance for this like lovely ballad? And then the fireworks start going off, and I am threatened.
Well, the fireworks by your head, like the love fireworks go off, and then you get like.
I go into like rage mode. I think like it sets off some primal instinct in me. And I just go on like a rampage. I think. What that means for Jack, I don't know.
Jack's like going to do bunny in the headlights very much, like especially I imagine there's one of the crappy school spotlights comes on at the same time, so you have this moment, and Jack I think is going to kind of like almost start like twitch and then suddenly start running.
Nice. So yeah, I think like Bob has gone into full Hulk smash mode and just really is wrecking up the place.
He doesn't have fight or flight. He has horny or hunted.
Oh my god.
Wow, I mean, what would Freud have to say about that? Cool. So, there's like the Eros and Thanatos, like, yeah, it's all there anyway. Cool. So after that, as Bob and Jack start, completely like turning heads in the dance floor, you see Stan go up to Keely and say, "Right, I think this song is more my pace. Do you want to dance?"
Sure.
Cool. And you see Stan deliberately making an effort of like trying moves that are not too complex and moves that don't need his feet to do much. He's basically just standing there doing the twist or something else that can pass as dad dancing, so he can not have to worry about having 2 feet that are on backwards. And yeah, he's making an effort to dance with Keely.
Keely like does one of those things where she like puts her arms like around the neck to like slow dance, but then she looks over his shoulder and starts texting us.
Great. And you even hear like Stan saying stuff like, "Oh wow, yeah, this song is so much more my pace." It's nice to finally have a dance where you can actually hear the other person talk rather than just like having all the heavy bass.
Can I suggest that Keely has to do a test to see if she can text
that's a good point.
sneakily, if
Okay.
she can get away with it?
I got a 6.
That is a pass.
Yeah, that's a pass.
And then, like, while he's saying all this, she's like, "Yeah, you're doing so great, sweetie. I'm so proud of you." And she's like texting Nessie, and she's like, rolling her eyes and like texting Nessie.
What are you texting, Nessie? What is in these messages?
What am I getting? What am I getting?
Just like, oh god, I hate the song. Like,
We're
And
bitching
just-
about him. Oh, I love that.
and then just like can you send me the link to where you got made your dress for you, and then like just general chat.
And just as that happens, as the song builds to a crescendo, you hear Stan say, "Oh, by the way, Keely, there's something I want to talk to you about." Which is where we then cut to Nessie. Nessie, because you're by yourself, you now get to choose. You now go back to a table and sit by yourself whilst everyone else is dancing, and you get to choose whether you're embarrassed or angry.
She's that's a good question. I'm gonna say that she's angry because she's been rejected on her own Instagram live stream. And how dare you do that to her on her own Instagram live stream?
Nice.
She's just angry texting Keely, just like, yeah, I much prefer anything by Louis Capaldi. Here's the link to the person that did my dress. Like, just really
the song
passive
that's
aggressive
playing is that song that's like oh, what's that song where it's like the blonde you were with that blonde girl who always made me doubt. Like,
the driver's license song.
Cool. Right. So once again, this is the last scene when we will be awarding affection. So remember to award affection to a character whom you've interacted with in this scene, whom you felt your character grew closer to. And after that, the character that you... So now we're going into Act 4. And after Act 4, we'll take a short break. There's a reason we'll take a break after Act 4. And I'll get to that shortly. Act 4 is called Confessions. In this scene, each player will confess their feelings to the person they have the highest affection for. But before that, there's something else that happens. At the start of the scene, all the players vote for whom they want to be their prom regent and their prom consort. So, could I ask every player to send me a message telling me whom you are voting for your prom regent and prom consort?
Can you remind us what
vote for two people.
Prom consort?
Prom king and prom queen.
Oh, okay. Also,
And
mechanically,
so
what happens if you have two people at the same?
The rules don't bother to go into how to break ties. So we are just going to flip a coin for that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go.
Oh.
Sorry, the prom regent and consort thing is just based off of us as well. It's not based off of our affection.
Yes,
necessarily.
it's
Okay.
based off of whom we are voting for.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fine.
So message me privately on Zoom, telling me whom you'd like to vote for your
on Zoom.
prom
Can we
regent
vote
and
for
prom consort.
ourselves?
No, it needs to be other people.
Has to be other
Okay.
people. Okay.
And two people.
Yeah.
Cool. Just check.
Awesome. Oh, this is so scandalous. I'm so intrigued to see what everyone's like highest affection is going to be.
Instead of flipping a coin, can I pick out of the two people because I think it would be funny?
Yeah, I think so. I don't see why
Yeah,
not,
sure.
Right?
Right. So yeah, the votes will be revealed later, but I'll just tally them now so they don't get lost in the whole shenanigans of the chat.
Mhm.
Ooh, that's interesting. So I've got Emily's vote, I've got Robin's vote, I've got Claire's vote, and I've got... Oh, yeah, that's the one I missed. I missed Duncan's. Cool. Yeah, that is it. Oh, I forgot mine.
That would help.
Yeah. Right. Cool. So now during this scene, all the players then reveal who earned the most of our affection, and we describe a scene in which our character approaches them and reveals their feelings. We set a timer for 5 minutes, and the characters roleplay the scene until the timer is up or until you've said everything you've had to say.
Sure.
After the scene, or when it becomes obvious, the other character decides if they accept your affections or if they reject them. Mark the answer on your character's index card. One way or another, it is burned into your soul.
Oh Lord.
Say you have 2 people hit on you. Can you accept the affection of both of them?
There is nothing in the rules that says you can't.
Yes. Love it.
Nice. So, as I had already alluded to this at the end of last scene, I think I'll start this one off because, as the slow dance ends, Stan goes up to Keely, who is the person whom Stan has the highest affection for, and says, "So Keely, I've been thinking about all the stuff that you've been saying, and like really, you've opened up my eyes to like a whole new world of media. Like all the gamer stuff and sponsorship, like you can help me take my podcasting to a whole new level. Like I just wanted to say I really appreciate this, and I thought it'd be cool if we spend more time together."
That sounds great. I'd love to help you with your podcast.
Great. It's so nice to finally meet someone whom I have so many shared interests with. Like, yeah, it's so nice to finally have someone whom you can actually connect with and, talk about developing your media careers in a mutually beneficial way and not be completely, toxically simping for the other person as well. It's so nice to finally have that kind of connection with someone. He says, utterly oblivious of everything.
Yeah, that sounds great. Like I help you with your podcast and you buy me Discord Nitro.
When you get sponsorships, of course. I
could, maybe for your birthday and for Christmas and stuff. Yeah, I could get you.
Oh, that's sweet.
Great. So I was wondering, are you going to be doing anything next week? I hear there's this, there's going to be this new release of this new cyberpunk game. I hear is coming out, and it's going to be amazing. Like I heard so many good things about it. They even got Keanu Reeves. Like this is going to be the launch event of the century. I don't think anything can possibly go wrong with this. Like, can you imagine? This is going to be the best game ever.
I mean, I don't normally play games that don't have animals in, like Cyberpunk 2020, and I haven't watched all of the trailers, including the ones of Grimes, but I'm sure I could, make myself play it,
Oh, cool. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but we can always maybe play different stuff as well. Like, I'd be quite keen to play Animal Crossing as well, even though I think it's quite a terrible statement on capitalism that a landlord basically blackmails you throughout the game.
No, it's okay. I can play Cyberpunk 2020. I've somebody already, like, my parents already got me the pre-release, so I'd love that.
You have the pre-release?
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing.
Don't tell anyone.
Okay. So yeah, quite clearly, like, Stan is quite into Keely at this point. Does Keely accept Stan's affections?
Yes.
Does she accept Stan's affections, or is she leading him on to?
Does it matter mechanically?
I'm going to say you are not accepting their affections if you are only leading them on to manipulate them.
No, she doesn't.
Brilliant. Cool. So yeah. Stan is being utterly led on, and this can only go wrong in a spectacularly dramatic fashion, which is great.
Oh boy.
Drama.
So as this conversation sort of starts fading into the background, and you hear Stan saying, "Oh my God, you have the pre-release!" The camera pans to the other couple on the dance floor.
Mm. So I've been thinking, Jack, that you've been doing your parkour. I respect that, and I've got my gym. I spend all my time there, and I think we could teach each other a few things here and there. So I just wondered if you wanted to get some protein shakes sometime.
Yeah, no, that would be really cool. There's a really good coleslaw restaurant down the road that we could maybe go to. They do like takeaway salad bars. I mean, there's like protein in. I think lettuce has some protein in. And then we could maybe I don't know. I heard someone say you liked like lurking in the forest sometimes.
Well, from time to time.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, outdoor, like rural parkour and stuff. That can be a thing too if you want.
Sure thing. I'll knock down some trees with my hench guns, and you can climb all over them.
Oh yes. I'd love to climb it all over those trees. That'd be great.
Awesome. Well, I'll see you then. I'll make sure to bring a carrot to our date if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, that would be yeah, yes, yeah, that would be great. Thank you. Yes, I'll bring a big shoe.
Thanks.
Oh gosh, Duncan, remind me when we talk about what everyone's heart shudders were, why this is the most frustrating scene for me. Right.
Okay.
Cool. So that brings us to the end of that act.
And is Nessie
Oh
not
yeah,
gonna
Nessie.
go?
Nessie does get a chance to ask someone, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Yeah.
So
She's not got
Nessie.
followers. She's forgotten.
Yeah, Nessie. Oh, sorry. I was reading the rules for the dance scene. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, Nessie, you get to talk to someone. Yeah.
I was about to say that would be tragic. if
Nessie
Yeah,
just
sorry,
gets
the-
no
the-
love.
Yeah, I was reading the wrong
Just
paragraph.
alone.
Yeah. Nessie, you get to
Instagram
talk to
followers
someone.
are
Yeah.
Only love.
Sick. So Nessie's gonna head over to Stan and Keely having this conversation, and she's gonna just be like, Stan, do you mind if I just borrow Keely for just a sec? Just
Yeah, sure.
because Keely is in fact the one with the most affection from Nessie. So Nessie will kind of pull Keely to one side and she'll be like, listen, I have a business proposal. I think that we could work really well together. I think we could swap our follow counts. I could appear on your Discord channel, you could appear on my Instagram lives, and I mean it would be an excuse for us to maybe go on some cute dates, maybe little coffee dates, or walks across bridges, maybe check out Point Pleasant sometime. I think it'd be quite cute.
I love that. I've been following your Instagram for ages and you're so pretty, and I was really hoping that you'd talk to me tonight. So yeah, just let me know when you're free, and we could go to that new Instagram museum. Like we could take some really cute pics. Yeah,
would
if you
love
let me
that.
know what colors you're wearing beforehand, I'll even match your outfit, and then
I've been so jealous of the way you like connect with your following and let's be honest, you get a lot more out of them than I do, and I think that's just so impressive, and I think you're so impressive.
I mean,
so I would love that.
a girl's got to get some anime figurines somehow.
Absolutely, 100%. Think of how many matching outfits we could have if I got the same amount from my followers.
I'll make you a mod on my Discord server. It'll be great.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
It
So that
took a
brings us to
turn.
that brings us to the end of that scene. And before we go on to the next act, I think it'd be nice for us to take a short break to give us a chance to get a drink and just catch our breath. I'd just like to remind everyone that we are raising funds today for Fight Against Cancer Edinburgh. They're a local charity that do a lot of work in supporting people who are living with cancer, in providing them the little things that really make a difference during their treatment and remission. They're run entirely by volunteers who are all people who've had lived experience of cancer or have had family who've lived with a cancer in their lives. And we think they're a great organization, and they're a local charity. Duncan has just posted a link to the charity in the chat. Please do donate if you can. We think that it's a great cause, and every little amount you donate makes a big difference because they're a very small organization, and they're doing their best to support people in Edinburgh. Please do go ahead and donate if you do have the time. Meanwhile, we're going to take a short break. If there are any tech issues, we'll try and fix them. But we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll see you all shortly. And we shall reveal who the prom regent and prom consort are.
Very excited. Hello.
Hey, everyone.
to Monster Prom. I hope you all had a good break. We are just going to shout out the people who have donated. Thank you guys so much for donating. Just to remind everybody, we are raising money for Face Edinburgh, which is a cancer charity that works with people who and families that are suffering from cancer. So the people that have donated so far are Dee, Sophie, Numanathy, Duncan, and Artfish. And thank you guys so much for donating.
Yeah, I just like to echo Robin's thanks. We really appreciate it, no matter how big or small the amount. Every little bit you contribute makes a huge difference because this is a small charity that works very locally with people in the Western General. So I'm sure we appreciate everything you do, but I'm sure so does the organization and the people whom you've helped. So thank you all so much. If you can spare some money, please do donate. But if not, it's fine. We understand we're all students here. Anyway, moving on. So just to recap what happened for anyone who's joined us later, this is a Valentine's Day special live stream where we're playing a system called Goth Prom. Just before, everyone voted for whom they want their prom consort and prom regent to be. And in a few minutes, I will reveal the results of that vote. But before that, we saw some tense scenes as Jack and Bob quite clearly have some great chemistry going. Jack has taken to Bob's rather blunt and obvious interest in him, and both of them are making plans for meeting with a carrot and a stick at some point. And meanwhile, Keely has been the object of two people's affections, as both Nessie and Stan have fallen head over heels for Keely. Of course, the situation is somewhat messier than that because there's one person who is probably getting the raw end of the stick here. And without any further ado, we now go into the next scene, which is Act 5, Prom Court. So it turns out the entire class voted as their prom regent and prom consort one of the monsters as a sarcastic joke. In this scene, the class's votes for the prom consort and prom regent are revealed. They voted for the unpopular monster goth kids as a joke, and two of us are going to be the prom regent and prom consort. The two characters with the most vote become the prom consort, prom regent, and I can now reveal that almost unanimously, the prom regent is Nessie, and edging in just slightly, the prom consort is Keely.
Yes.
Stan, our lesbian power couple.
Yes.
Stan. Every
Cool.
time Vivek says prom court, all I can think of is that DS game.
What,
Right.
Ace Attorney?
Yeah.
Objection.
Right. So now, everyone is so the principal of the school goes up, is handed the golden envelope, unseals the envelope, reads out the names, and there is stunned silence. For a minute, like all the jocks and all the cheerleaders and everyone are like, "You've got to be kidding me." And then the penny drops and everyone starts laughing because, as far as the rest of the school, as far as the jocks and the preppy kids are concerned, this is a massive joke. But, who cares about them? I mean, so what if they made this a sarcastic joke? We will own this. So, what do Nessie and Keely do?
Keely's kind of like oblivious to their laughter, and she hops up to accept her crown. And one of the jocks that is laughing particularly loudly, she's like, "Stop laughing at me, Brad, because I'll stop sending you my bathwater."
I don't do that.
No, she's lying. She's lying. That's I don't know what she's talking about. I don't even think. Yeah, I don't even follow her on I don't even follow her on OnlyFans. Right. And what does Nessie do?
Nessie does notice the laughter at first, and she kind of lowers her head a little bit, but then she like gets her live stream out and she's like, "Hey, Ness gang, it seems that I've been ironically, I don't know how a Finn can do that, but she finds a way. Ironically being voted prom regent, but you know what? I'm gonna wear my crown. I'm gonna live my life because I am a queen." And no one can tell me otherwise, right, Ness gang? And then she's gonna saunter up and take her crown as well.
Cool. And as both of you take your crowns, you hear, "I could stay awake just to hear you breathing." And yes, the slowest of slow dances for the night starts playing.
Oh.
What's it like? How does this dance go? Is it awkward? Are you secretly relieved? Are you angry or embarrassed? How do you feel in this moment? You have a 5-minute scene of describing how the two of you wear your crown.
I feel like to make it less awkward, Keely starts doing what those drunk girls do in a club where they just really badly like sing along loudly and they don't properly slow dance. They just kind of hang off each other. And then she's just turning it into a big joke so that like if she's making the joke, no one else can laugh at her. And she's TikToking it because this would get on the For You page for sure. And she's just hoping that like Nessie catches on.
Oh, Nessie 100% catches on. Nessie was literally, before Keely started doing this, she was about to lean in and be like, "It's okay if you want to pretend you're uncomfortable so that like the guys will still thirst over you." Like, that's chill. But seeing her do that, she's like, no, I see what's going on here. She starts doing the same thing and she holds her phone right up to get like almost an aerial shot of the two of them kind of drunk dancing to it and singing to it. Yeah.
At the point where it does the build up before, "I don't want to close my eyes," she like runs towards her and like takes off.
Nessie sees her, takes off, and Nessie does like pirouette spins underneath her with her fins out.
Nice. What do you talk about?
When we like calm down from the hype of Aerosmith, we start like, I don't know, I think Keely is just having a chat to Nessie and like asking her about her interests and stuff, just like actually as if it was like a proper date and a proper slow dance, but she's like trying to be hush hush.
Oh yeah, no, like Nessie's long neck is like basically curved right the way down so that she can basically like hush whisper have a conversation with Keely so that no one else can hear that they're actually interested in each other. She'll also, for the first time in the whole night, put her phone away. She'll put her phone in her pocket, and yeah, she'll just be chatting to Keely about what she does outside of gaming and like if there are any games she thinks that Nessie would like playing with her.
In a moment of vulnerability, Keely confesses to Nessie that she is actually gets most of her money because she's really good at esports. And that she's like one of the top players of Call of Duty. So she doesn't even really need the money from all of these guys.
Nessie nods and is like, "No, I get that. Like, the reason I was so interested in you maybe faking your voice is because I totally fake my voice. I'm not even Scottish. Like, this whole thing's just to get more followings."
You know, I'd heard that like plesiosaurs just kind of, you know, got trapped in the lake.
Yeah, no, none of us are there on purpose. Like, we just went on a holiday and got a bit lost, and now we're kind of stuck in Scotland. Like,
wow. I mean, cool.
And you know, like seeing all of this happen, and seeing his like all of his aspirations for the evening just crumble like this, I'm gonna say this is going to be a test for Stan to see if he can hold it together.
I feel so bad for Stan.
I know.
Apparently,
boy.
Stan does hold it together, but only
Oh.
just because I rolled a 6.
He like wipes a single tear
I mean,
away from
he's
his
probably
eye.
like, he probably wipes the tear away and he's like, but interspecies cryptids romance would make a very, very good podcast episode.
Oh no! So Stan wipes a single tear out of his eye, and as he hears the Aerosmith start playing, he like puts his headphones on, and then he starts playing songs from Taylor Swift's new album to cheer himself up. And and he just says, "You know what? I don't care." And he just starts. No, he starts listening to "Shake It Off" on loop.
Yes.
The old Stan can't come to the phone right now. Why? Because he's dead.
Anyway, what is Bob doing? How are Bob and Jack reacting to this scene?
I don't even know if we care. Like,
Yeah.
we didn't win. Like,
yeah, no.
who cares?
Who'd want to win anyway?
Exactly. I feel like Bob has definitely taken this personally as an affront to his pride. And so yeah, he's just got like moaning to Jack, being like, "Oh, well, I mean, it was totally rigged anyway. Like, I mean, I totally should have won. Like, have you seen these bulging muscles? Like,
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure they did it. It was a joke anyway. Like,
yeah, I mean, everyone was laughing at them.
Yeah. And anyway, yeah, like Stan and Keely were a thing anyway, so that's why it's such a big joke, right? They do look pretty happy though.
Yeah, I guess they do actually look quite happy.
Cool. Which I guess brings us to the next act, which is when things get really interesting. The next act is called Disaster Strikes. Something terrible happens.
Oh,
Unexpected.
no. I wonder
Stunning.
what that could be.
Horrible. Wonderful. In this scene, something ruins Prom.
Oh,
First, everyone who is angry may choose to roll for each angry point that they have.
no.
You roll a d8, and whoever rolls the highest gets to cause the disaster. They choose one of the options below and tell us how their character caused it. They then follow the corresponding prompt, etc., etc.
Okay.
If no character caused a disaster, roll to see what disaster happened randomly anyway. So, who here has anger?
I do. And so,
Cool,
oh my god,
both-
it's the two people that like faced off earlier as well.
Yes. So
Perfect.
both of you roll off, and whoever rolls higher gets to cause the
Right.
disaster.
Lucky dice, lucky dice. That's a 6 for me. Oh no. Well, that means good
Cool.
for me, though.
Bob,
And good for you.
I'm gonna get revenge.
So,
I didn't
Bob,
get prom king. or
you get to
prom
choose.
Region.
You get to choose. Is it fire, poison, or evil magic?
Oh. I think evil magic and poison's too shady. I think I'm just going directly in with the fire. I think.
Excellent. So, how are you going to start the fire? So this is the prompt. A fire starts and everyone starts to panic. Together, invent how this fire starts and spreads. The more over the top, the better. Then each player takes an index card and secretly writes down one character that their character tries to save from the flames.
Oh.
You may choose yourself or a supporting character like the chaperone. Then all players reveal their choices at the same time. Those whose names are revealed escape the prom and survive. Anyone whose name is not revealed perishes in the flames or crawls out the wreckage the next day coughing and stunned.
Oh, okay. Oh. I thought they just died. I was like, oh no.
There is a catch.
Okay.
Oh wait, there are two more options.
Oh, there are.
Sorry, the page turned awkwardly.
That's all right. Yeah.
So
no.
after evil magic, there is also shout out to Emma, who keeps complaining that there are way too many cults in games I run. Option 7 is a cult.
Yay.
The prom was a front for an ancient cult, and eldritch forces
Oh,
drive
perfect.
everyone mad.
We love
Together,
cults.
invent what ancient power this was invoked by the prom. Then each player has a test. Those who fail the test are driven mad by the hormones. Sorry, no, driven
And then-
mad by the horrors of the elder gods. Same thing.
And then
Those who
hell is-
succeed may decide if they give themselves into dark powers or escape the horrors.
Oh my god, incredible.
And then the last one is hell. Like
Yeah.
a literal portal hell opens up to Solo's prom.
Perfect. What could go wrong?
I want to
Together-
be driven mad by the hormones of the undergods.
I mean, I still think I'm going to go with fire, so I think
Cool.
we can focus on that one. But
And anyone who has embarrassment points can spend those embarrassment points to try and roll to escape the prom.
So
Um,
Bigfoot, as like kind of like a bit of a prehistoric man, doesn't actually know how to make fire, but he's gonna give it his best shot, and just like picks up two of the biggest rocks he can find because he's still got to flex his muscles and everything, and just starts like striking stuff against each other, doing anything that'll work. And I feel like eventually like it catches on, and just the prom goes up in flames.
Cool. So I'm going to say that because Stan held it together, I'm not going to spend my embarrassment point to escape the prom.
Okay.
Does anyone else have embarrassment points? Oh, cool. I'm the only one who made a fool of himself. Great.
Classic.
Oh,
So yeah, right. So is it fire?
it's fire.
Great. So now we all get to choose one. We all get to choose one person whom we are going to save.
Awesome. Shall we message it to you
Right.
through the doodar again, or
So if you write, yeah, message me on Zoom.
yeah? Okay.
And for the integrity of this, I'm going to minimize my Zoom window and put it on a different, put it like off the side of my monitor. And I'm going to decide without looking at the rest of the chat, and then look at the chat so I can decide without being biased by anyone else's.
I have that Aerosmith song stuck in my head now.
Sorry.
It's okay, it's a bop and a half.
Cool. So I've made my decision and I've written it down. Has everyone put theirs in the chat?
Yes.
Great. So the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. I chose Bob.
Nice. Okay.
And Jack and brother Frank and Keely and Nessie. Oh, great. Excellent. So the following people escaped the flames. Yeah. Keely, how do you save Nessie? Keely and Nessie, how do the two of you rescue each other from the flames?
Oh, this is gonna be really hard because I was gonna be like, I pick you up and fly away, but you're a whole ass dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
I'm just a moth. So I don't
Yeah,
know how.
Yeah,
I think
but
that's even
you're
better though. You're like
a thickums
tiny
moth.
little
It turns
mothling.
out the thickums is actually a muscle, and it's just like oh.
I use the clap of my ass cheeks to propel us.
yeah.
And I use my massive fins to just smack the doors open so that we can fly out.
Cool. So, the whole building is starting to catch fire. All the bunting goes up like a fuse and lights all the curtains. And all the podcasting equipment that Stan has connected, it causes an electrical, it causes it to short out because of, all the issues with running so many different things in one socket. And yeah, there is a massive electrical fire that has kicked up. And what exactly has Bob done to make this fire situation worse?
Oh, to make it worse, I think I just start like breaking up bits of furniture, like just ripping things to shreds. Again, going full Hulk and just like throwing it onto the fire.
Perfect.
I can just
So
imagine Bob on the floor just blowing the flames like
yes, perfect. So that's it then. That's perfect. So all this electrical equipment and everything was there, like that was a spark, but Bob gave it the kindling that it needed to catch, and then Bob was blowing on it, and that made the fire like spread. And we see, everyone starting to panic. All the booze that Jack's brother smuggled into the prom that they spiked the punch makes the punch go up go up in flames as well. Everything's catching fire. If it hasn't caught fire, it's already burnt. And there's panic. The rafters are on fire, and you start to see debris falling everywhere. Keely and Nessie, how do you rescue each other?
grab, try and fly. Use
Cool.
a clap of my ass cheeks.
Absolutely. And as you
Rinse,
do
repeat.
so, you notice that, you're trying to fly, but the heat obviously rises upwards and it gets really smoky. And as you're trying to fly up, you start to get a lung full of smoke and you're not sure you can make it through. Nessie, how do you help Keely?
Nessie is using all 4 of her fins and her tail to just waft all this smoke away and just get as much propulsion or whatever like as possible. Just try to help push her along with her fins.
Excellent. And as you're doing this, you start to see the ceiling start to collapse and the rafters burn up. And the structural integrity of this building is terrible because who would have thought who'd have thought the education secretary was not doing their job properly? Anyway, that aside,
Imagine giving
building's-
money to schools.
Yeah.
yeah,
What a concept.
this building is about to collapse, and you see the ceiling starting to cave in. How did the two of you make your last-ditch daring escape?
Is this me and Jack?
No, this is the two of them, and then we'll get to
okay.
the two of you.
Oh,
thing.
okay, right. So us. I
I
think
scream and it shatters the windows, and we just like.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes.
And as there are shards of glass falling everywhere. Jack, how do you rescue Frank?
So I think my brother Frank's been trying to like get in there to get some kids. He looks really like the Donnie Darko bunny rabbit, like really big and scary. So he's not doing very good because everyone's seeing this lurking thing in the smoke. And like I'm looking between Bob, who's literally blowing the fire on the floor, and my brother, and like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? And then like lunges towards my brother Frank and starts dragging him away, probably by his arm.
Cool. And obviously, you're having to rescue not just Frank, but all of your other siblings here as well. It's posing quite a massive challenge. How do you rally all of them and, get them through this burning building that's collapsing with glass shards flying everywhere?
I feel like it's kind of a bit like the kind of like sitting up like a meerkat, and then they all do that as soon as I do to get their attention. And then we start going through the debris with our horns, like charging them through like deer antlers, trying to get everything out of the way, probably occasionally accidentally hitting other escapees, but
Using that
like,
sick parkour skills.
yeah, no, exactly, like proper charging, jumping over everything, this like mob of rabbits running out in kind of far more than there should be, because there were definitely only 10 before, but I don't know, it's kind of all the camera shots make it look like there's a hell of a lot of rabbits coming out of that burning
Excellent.
hole.
But you're marshalling so many of the rabbits out. It's probably going to take you a lot of time to navigate your own escape. Bob, how do you help?
Bob, after fanning the flames, is like, okay, I've screwed up the regent and the consort. Like, I've got my revenge. I'm happy. And now I'm like, okay, who am I going to save? I see like Jack like trying to usher people out, but I also see like a bit of burning rubble that's about to fall. And I'm like, no, I run as fast as I can. I'm taking massive bounding strides, like cracking the floor as I go. And I just like basically rugby tackle you, lift you, like fire as this over the shoulder. And I just start like running as fast as I can to the exit.
Cool. And Bob, as you're running to the exit, we basically have I don't know, insert video game here that involves firemen carrying someone over an obstacle. But you're having to rescue Jack through burning buildings, a lot of sparking podcasting equipment, cheap bunting, like all manner of stuff. What about this is the most insurmountable obstacle?
Oh damn. I think it's just going to be the other people. Like, I think there's lots of, like, there's equipment, there's burning things, whatever. But there's also everyone flooding through one tiny little gym entrance exit. And Bob doesn't give a damn about all the jocks and the preps and whatever. Doesn't give a damn about Keely or Stan or Nessie. And is just like, okay, I need to get out. And just literally, like, charges through trying to knock people down like bowling pins and just get through them.
Cool.
Brute force in it.
What is the one obstacle that you can't get through?
Oh, completely cannot. I don't know. I don't know what would be unstoppable to Bob. Something he can't fix with his muscles, probably. A riddle. No.
How about
Is it-
it's the small doorway? Like the doorway
Oh
itself
yeah, he's too
is like,
chunky.
yeah, and because it's a fire escape, and like they decided that, well, health and safety is the one thing that is needed, so the school can't be sued. So they plowed all the money they have into that.
Into that one fire exit, yeah. So it's really reinforced, and I can't fit through it.
Cool. So as Stan sees this, Stan notices the fire escape and the fact that someone of Bob's size can't fit through the fire escape. But Stan also has been talking to Mr. Jackson, who has also been doing the tech for the school, because the school has only one member of staff who does everything. So as a result of that, Stan knows where the manual override is for the fire escape to disable to disable the magnetic lock. Why the hell you'd have a magnetic lock in a fire escape?
Fire door. It's
Again,
questionable.
I have no idea how the school's health and safety works. In fact, that's Mr. Jackson's big thing. He's the union's health and safety rep who takes this up with the school administration every time, saying this is just this is a bad
at his
idea.
Job.
Cool.
Poor
So but here's the catch. There's no one who's rescuing Stan.
No.
So Stan gets stuck inside, going to the manual override for the fire doors, turning it on, and then the rest of the building starts to cave in the fire. And everyone is outside, and the whole building collapses. And the next morning, as the dust settles and as the smoke clears and the fire brigade arrives, you see crawling out from the rubble. There is this one figure, his beloved Rode NT1 mic completely melted, his boom pole completely twisted because of the heat. All of his podcasting equipment completely wrecked, and he emerges from the wreck. He emerges from the wreckage, a wreck himself.
Yeah. Poor Stan.
Cool. Which brings us to the final act. The final act is the after parties. Good, wholesome fun. Take a moment to narrate together the fallout of the prom and what happens to surviving characters. Do some of you end up together? Is it back to dull, listless life as usual? Then each character gets to talk about their achievements, and we'll talk about those achievements afterwards once we finish the epilogues. So, I think the big question is, what happens with Keely and Nessie?
I mean, I imagine that once they get out the building and they're kind of away from safety, the first thing they do is take selfies together with the burning building in the background.
We can recreate that meme of that little girl.
Exactly.
I like to think that Keely would Keely obviously has her bath water and is being like, oh, if you want me to put out the fire, have to pay.
Yeah.
Venmo me.
Yeah.
They take turns taking photos of each other, so that they
Yeah.
can do cute poses and stuff. And then after they've done that, Nessie will just be like, I heard that the nearest Starbucks has a new drink if you wanted to go check it out.
Is it pink?
I'm pretty sure you could ask for it to be pink.
Then sure.
And they go off to get a Starbucks at
They go
God knows what
off
time of
into the
night.
Starbucks sunset.
Off into the Starbucks sunset.
Yeah, off into the Starbucks sunset. And what about the date that Jack and Bob got up to?
Yeah. We go to my favorite protein shake place. We get some nice whey wheat protein with a nice chaser shot of
kale, whatever, horrible like green liquid. And yeah, I feel like again, Bob just talks about himself the entire time unless Jack stops him in any way.
The protein place is in a 24-hour gym.
Yeah, literally. I'm just like doing reps while talking. Just don't stop.
Well, I think that Jack's probably pretty on it with that. Like, I think the protein, I think there's something scientifically weird with rabbits and protein. So probably is doing this thing of like when Bob's not looking, probably topping up Bob's protein with his own. But Jack's trying to at least keep up with Bob on the weights. Probably doing it quite shyly, but no, I think it kind of just keeps being incredibly awkward. But yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. We just become gym buddies. Like, I don't even think it needs to be like romance. It's just a bromance.
I was gonna say, and so the Chad fell in love with the twink.
that too. It's a bromance. There's still love there, but it's just like not inherently sexual.
Yeah, to hell with all these, heteronormative structures of our society that only expect certain kinds of romantic relationships to end in fulfillment.
Yeah, it's just sometimes the fist bump lasts a little bit too long, and just things like that.
Sometimes they forget to say no homo.
Cool. And then you hear another song start playing as there's a crescendo to "All by Myself," and you see coming out of the rubble in the building with this like looking completely black and molten. You see Stan emerging and taking off what was a massive Yeti mask, which had completely melted all over him. And Stan, who turns out was a human all this time, who had been undercover in the cryptid school to make a radio documentary, comes out, sees all of his equipment has been completely wrecked, and he's like, I got in way too deep. This was not worth it.
Incredible.
Amazing.
Cool. Which I think brings us to the end of the drama of the game. Yay. We now get to do the epilogue afterwards. So like I said, in this game, everyone gets achievements at the end based on what happened. So this is a very fun little mechanic in this game, which gives us a nice way of recapping what happened in the sessions, some of the highlights, some of the dramatic moments, some of the things that will, earn a very rightful place in the Geas Out of Context channel. We begin with, let's just begin by talking about our characters and revealing the various secrets that we had, if they hadn't already come up. So obviously my character, Stan, hosts a podcast, loves Taylor Swift, and has a dirty sense of humor. His secret hard shudders were someone talked to him about podcasting, someone also likes his favorite band, and someone makes a dirty joke. And I think 2 of those hard shudders came up. And Stan's secret was that he was a massive poser. He was actually a human who's making a documentary and is pretending to be a cryptid to make documentaries about cryptids. Cool. Who wants to go next?
I actually think I should follow on from your one, because there's an interesting thing in that my secret was also that I am a man in a costume.
I did think
the itching thing was because the costume was made out of really bad material, and so
I
it was
had fleas.
I thought I know, that's why I was like making it ambiguous, but I was just a big old.
I thought you had fleas.
So good.
Oh, this is like when we played Monsters Inc. and 2 people were humans pretending to be monsters.
So yeah, that's probably why that's why Bob never truly shows his carrot to Jack, because his yeah,
it's not hairy.
It's not hairy. Jack wouldn't be interested.
Right. Who wants to go next?
Anyway, yeah.
You go.
Okay, cool. So my secret was that I'd being the Easter Bunny for the primary school children next door. And my heart shudders were anytime anyone says that they like kind of costume or dressing up. Someone complimenting some kind of rabbit related thing, or someone offering food, particularly vegetables.
So cute.
Nessie's big secret, as she's already revealed, is that she was a massive poser, pretending to be Scottish for like to get them followers in. And her heart shudders were someone takes a picture with or of her, someone compliments her look or outfit, and someone DMs her during prom. So the second two were both ticked by Keely.
So my secret was that I'm actually really good at esports, which I revealed. My heart shudders were someone gives me a gift, which standard. I got that sweet Steam gift card. Someone compliments me, which Nessie did. Someone fights over me, and because Nessie like cut in between me and Stan, she got that as well. And I started off prom having a crush on Bob, but that did not go anywhere.
Yeah, I had a crush on Bob as well. So whose character did everyone have a crush on?
Bob.
What did Nessie's character?
Oh, Robin's dropped out of the
Keely,
call.
So
Oh, yeah, this is on Keely. Okay.
oh
fair.
no,
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
tragic.
It lagged out a bit. Oh,
Yeah,
that might have...
because I imagine she had a high.
Yes. Oh man, the stream has ever so slightly
Oh.
broken.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's because Robin's just trying to
I
reconnect. So we should.
assume audio is still working. We can... Okay.
Audio's still
Yeah,
fine. It's
that's
just the
good.
video is a
That's
bit
fine.
misaligned.
That's fine though. We can still talk. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. So great. So that brings us to all of that. We now get to talk about the achievements. So what was everyone's affection card like?
My affection card. I mean, most of it was in Jack. I had three points in Jack because Jack was also my secret crush initially. Because I was like, parkour, it's like the closest thing to the gym. So I was like, that's probably the best thing. And then I also had 2 points in Nessie, but then I rejected Nessie because I was like, I can't dance with the same person twice. That's just not cool. You know? It
Cool.
wouldn't be done in the 18th century and it won't be done in the 21st.
So write down the total number of affection points that you got from other characters.
Oh, okay.
So I gave mine was 1 point to Nessie, 1 point to Bob. Bob was my crush from the start because Stan was really into Bigfoot as one of his Bigfoot was his favorite cryptid basically.
I see.
And it was 3 points to Keely because Keely did the whole thing where she talked about podcasting and then was someone whom I bonded with over sponsorship and stuff. Yeah, I think we spent 2 scenes getting to know each other. So that's why Keely was up there with 3. I'll make a tally for Keely whilst Robin's not here.
Yeah, sure thing. So I've got 3 because I had 3 people crushed on me, right? Did anyone else have any affection for Bob?
I had 3 in total. For
Okay,
Bob.
so that's 2 extra because yours was also the crush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say I had 2 for Bob.
Yeah, 2. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I had 1 for Stan as well. I can't remember exactly what that's for. I think it was distracting from things going on. There we
Cool.
go.
Are we still live?
We are still
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have 1 brain cell and my laptop has been plugged in, but I didn't turn the switch on.
Nice.
Incredible.
So Robin, the day of my Viva, I set an alarm for 7 p.m.
Oh my god.
I still managed to. I overslept by 1 hour, but I still had enough time, so I was fine.
Thank God.
Cool. Right. So Keely. So did anyone else have any more affection points for Keely?
I had 3 altogether for Keely.
Right.
Sure.
Keely. So how many points did people have for Keely? Is that a 0, Duncan?
That's a 0. Sorry. Cool. I realized I also showed 3.
Keely, you had 6 total points of affection. What about Nessie?
I had 3.
I had 1.
Nessie, I had 2.
Oh, okay. So this. Okay.
Where's my character sheet?
Cool. So Nessie, you ended with 6 points of affection.
Yep.
What about Jack?
Oh, I had 3 for Jack. Sorry, my brain is really not working today.
No worries. Anyone else?
Oh,
Cool.
sorry.
And Bob?
I had 1.
I had 1.
3.
So that's...
And then 2 from thingy. So that's 7.
Is
Yeah,
that
7 for
7?
Bob. 7 for Bob.
Jeez.
That's I counted correctly.
And Stan?
I had 1.
3.
Cool. So at the end of that, the total affection scores, in first place, edging ahead, is Bob with 7. Bob gets the Vamp achievement, the character awarded with the most total affection.
Thank you, everyone. I'd like to thank my my mom, my dad.
Cool. So the second, did anyone end up with the person they had a crush on?
Yeah,
No.
me.
Yes.
Cool. So
yeah.
the 2 of you get the Adams achievement, the characters who ended up with their crush. And then there is the Alone achievement, the character who didn't end up. Well, we can skip that.
Wait,
Poor
no, what was
Stan.
it? What?
So the Alone achievement, the character who didn't end up with anybody and survived.
That's
Well, to be
okay.
fair,
I
Stan
got
did
that
survive.
achievement at my prom.
Cool. So then we have the Mortified achievement, the character with the most embarrassment points throughout the game, which again is Stan with 1 embarrassment point.
Yeah.
Poor
We actually didn't fail that much at all throughout
Yeah.
this. We had like a couple of people who were angry, and that's it.
Do
And
we
we
have
have
any
the-
Stan stands in the chat that wouldn't like to?
Stands.
And then we have
Stands.
and then so we see this happening in the school yearbook as we graduate. We see all the awards for the year. And then, on the page which has all these awards, we have the next award for the most vengeful person is Bob for being the person who caused the disaster.
Congratulations, you're an asshole.
Thank you. Thank you.
And then
Means a
there's
lot.
a massive center page spread of the prom regent and the prom consort. And it says, prom court 2021, and it's got Keely and Nessie, and then the prom court jester, the character who said something so hilarious it brought the game to a screeching halt. So this is something that I'm going to throw it open to the chat. Chat,
Yeah.
whom do you reckon was the court jester?
Who said
While the
that?
chat catches up and posts something, we can talk about it amongst ourselves. But I'd love to hear from the people in chat whom you think was the court jester who said the funniest thing of the night.
Honestly, just everything that happened with Keely had me in stitches.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
I know
if it
where
was
my
gonna
vote
be a-
is.
I didn't know if it was going to be a strong bit or not, so I just committed to it.
You went double. I respect it. You doubled down. It
This
was
is
so
like
good.
when I played that Karen and I didn't know if it was going to be successful or not, so I just.
Oh, it was so good. I did
Yeah.
really enjoy though. I really enjoyed I'll bring a really big shoe.
Yeah, that was really good. Oh yeah, the spotted thing as well. The
Yes.
spotted. Consider me spotted.
I also like the biggest, most sexiest foot.
Oh yes, biggest, most sexiest foot,
Coming in
definitely.
strong at the beginning of the session.
Also, Scotland got a lot of love in the chat.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Scotland. Oh,
Yeah, I think Nessie's getting a lot of love in the chat.
incredible.
Cool.
Emily was struggling with her heart shudders at one point, so I just sent her a big list of things that she could pick. So I didn't know what she picked, but I sent her a big list, and one of them was talk about Indie Ref 2.
Another one was asked to dance to the Proclaimers, which I also thought was really good.
That would be incredible.
Yeah. See, I was actually like, I was trying to be as contemporary as possible with my music references because I don't do pop culture, which is why I picked Taylor Swift as a character trait. But then, yeah. Oh, Keely's getting a lot of love in the chat as well.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh.
Keely's an icon, to be fair.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think
I
it
hate
sounds
her.
like it sounds like between both chat and us, we agree that Keely was the court jester.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd give that.
I think, yeah.
I'm
I
fine
think
with that.
Cool. So Keely is the prom court jester. And then the closed book, the character whose terrible secret was never guessed.
I think
I think
it
that
was
was something.
both you and Duncan.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
ours were the
same
biggest
secret.
reveals at the end. Like
Yeah.
the fact that we both had them. I feel like you should get the award because you worked it into like the after party bit as well. But
There should
Yeah.
be like a epilogue moment where you both see each other like get out of your like
we do that Spider-Man meme of like, hold on.
and you're just like
Turns
Cool.
out we look identical.
Yeah.
You're actually twins. You just bought different like colors of the same brand
Oh,
of
even better.
costume.
We're both producers of rival podcasts.
Scandalous.
Uh,
Oh, the shade of it all.
right.
if anyone
Uh.
is looking for a good cryptid podcast recommendation, I would recommend listening to The Cryptid Keeper. It's run by two really cool queer ladies, and it's one of my favorite podcasts. I'm not. This isn't sponsored. It's just a good
Just
recommendation.
throwing it in there.
Yeah, and if anyone's and on the subject of cryptid podcasts, there is a podcast called The Cryptid Factor, run by a certain Dan Schreiber, to whom resemblances are, for legal reasons, entirely coincidental. Right. Cool. So the next award is the tragic figure, the character who accepted another's affections and died in Act 6. I don't think anyone. No, I don't think
No.
that applies. No one
Yeah,
died.
No one died.
And then the dark savior, the character who prevented the disaster. Oh, no one prevented that disaster.
No one even tried.
Okay, the next one is an interesting one. Traded places, the characters who ended up with each other's dates.
Oh. Well, I think the problem is because we all went on a big date,
Yeah.
double date. We never actually established who went with who in that date either. So it's
Yeah.
Oh
hard
well.
to tell.
And heart shudders,
yeah.
the character whose heart shudders were all triggered.
Mine.
Cool. I was 2 out of 3.
I was 2 out of 3.
That's one.
Yeah, I think I only had one.
Great. And then of course, so the one with the most achievements is the winner.
I have 3.
I don't remember. Wait.
Okay.
Oh wait, because I got alone, mortified, and closed book. Oh yeah, I got 3. Yeah.
Three-way tie.
A 3-way
Chat
street.
chat is
Chat
the
is the real
winner.
winner.
Chat vote is the real winner. Chat is the real winner is the friends.
Since
who
there's
move
a
along the
freeway
way.
tie, should we let chat decide the?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Whom
chat
do you
can
think?
vote.
Chat, you get to break the tie.
Oh, we can't do polls.
You know
can
what?
we?
I'll show you my drawing of Mothman carrying off Nessie.
I
And
love
you can
it.
see the clap clap and the flap flap.
Yes.
Iconic.
As well as this one is not finished, but this is a very bad drawing
Aw.
of Nessie raising Mothman up.
This is my drawing of Mothman.
It's genuinely the most like cursed thing I've had to do in my entire arts career is drawing stuff for this
Great.
stream.
Well,
I'm very
that
glad.
actually, I guess that brings us to the end of Goth Prom. Although, does it ever truly end, or will these scars stay with us for the rest of rest of our lives?
Yes,
This
absolutely.
just sounds like when I forgot when World War II was, and someone asked me when it ended, and I just went, "Do wars ever truly end?"
Cool.
The proms ever truly end.
Does high school ever truly end?
It looks, by the way, it looks like a chat is voting for Bob,
Bob.
to be for
Yeah.
Duncan.
I mean, one of them was definitely a rigged vote because it's Harvey, but I'll still accept the win. Like,
Cool. Right. I'm just gonna
Okay.
check very quickly for any more. So just a reminder to everyone that you're still welcome to donate to Fight Against Cancer Edinburgh. They're a really great charity doing a lot of work locally, and we are delighted to be supporting them. We think they're doing incredibly important work in a very difficult time for a lot of people during this pandemic. So if you do have any money to spare, please do consider donating to them. They're a great organization, and the money you donate will make a huge difference, no matter how big or small.
and also just thank you to everyone who already has donated as well, because
Yeah.
it means so much. Your money goes a long way.
Thank
Yeah,
you to all the
and-
donations.
And we appreciate as well that a lot of the people who donated are students. And, we acknowledge that we do live in very precarious times at the university, and your contribution, is significant. And the fact that you've made it, it means a great deal, both to us as people organizing the stream, but I'm sure also to Fight Against Cancer Edinburgh, who would really appreciate the donations you made. So thank you all so much. So with that being said, I guess I just need to hand it back over to Robin to wrap things up.
I just firstly like to say thank you to Sophie, who is behind the scenes, making sure everything runs smoothly. And she does amazing work for us every time we do the streams, and it's so appreciated. I'd also like to thank Vivek for facilitating this game. He always steps up to run games like this and always has really, really cool system suggestions. So I'd like to thank you, Vivek. And I'd also like to thank Emily, Claire, and Duncan, who all played. You all had amazing characters and I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing with you. And then I'd just like to remind everybody that if you want to play a Valentine's Day one-shot of your own, you can come to our Valentine's Day one-shots, which are definitely on a date that I remember.
27th of February.
27th of February. You can run a game much like this, or maybe even more cursed.
Hopefully.
Hopefully more cursed.
I just want more
be very
cursed
entertaining.
content in the Geas server, please.
And sorry.
Yeah, and remember, if you do want to run a game like this, you can buy Goth Prom from DriveThruRPG. This is a lovely one-shot system, which, as you must have seen, is fairly fun, loose, and chaotic. It's by Robert Denton III, and you can follow him at @OhNoSpooky on Twitter. It's really nice for us to get to play games like this by obscure indie designers who aren't as mainstream as some of the bigger systems you play, and it's sometimes fun to discover hidden gems like this. So please do consider supporting designers like this, or pitch some of these games at one-shots. You never know what you might discover. And yes, all our love to Robert for designing such a lovely game, which, according to our resident Goth man, Alan, is the best system he has ever seen.
It is pretty spicy.
Really good.
I'd also like to remind everyone that you can join a new game or make a new game or continue your game at Geas starting from the 17th of February and the 21st of February. Run a game, join a game, stay in a game, do what you want to do. Pitches, come to them.
Please.
I'm bad at public
Please.
speaking.
You can.
I think that's everything I had to remind everybody. Oh, also the lovely artwork on the stream was made collaboratively by Emily and Claire. So thank you guys for the good doodles. I wish I could draw. I think, is that everything?
Yeah, and there's just a couple of other things to bring up, and that is that the music you heard during the break and during the start was All Hallows Eve by Tabletop Audio, licensed under Creative Commons. Tabletop Audio are a great website that do a lot of amazing background music and ambience for tabletop gaming. Do check them out. I've used them liberally in my games. They do some great stuff. Some of their recent tracks are genuinely some of the best background music I've come across for gaming. They're a great website, and the subtitles were also provided to us by webcaptioner.com. And that is a free service that we can use and integrate with our streams. We want to make Geas as accessible as possible. And one of the things we wanted to do was to make sure that our live stream had closed captioning. Webcaptioner.com provides a free closed captioning service, which we think is fantastic. And we are delighted that there are people out there who are providing services like this for free for people to use. So thank you to Kurt from Webcaptioner for making something like this. It is a huge deal, and we really appreciate the work that you've put in.
And finally, happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yeah.
If you don't have a Valentine's, then Mothman will be your
Yeah,
Valentine.
I was going to say Bob is open to all applicants.
Is that a threat?
Yes. Mothman appears at your window with
I
flowers.
cannot promise Mothman will send you bathwater, but in spirit.
Just turn your lamp on in your bedroom and leave
Yeah,
the curtains
like a
open,
light.
and Mothman will come.
Yeah.
You'll just
for
hear a
you.
thud in the night.
If you don't have anything to do for Valentine's Day, rewatch this stream. I'm sure it would be very romantic.
Rewatch it with only the subtitles as well. That'll be a
Yes.
completely different
A
whole new
fish.
A whole new
experience.
story.
So if you are
Also-
interested in any of the things Robin and I talked about, you can look it up on the chat or on our Twitch page. Go to our social media. On Facebook, we are at Geas Edinburgh. On Twitter,
Everything.
we are at Geas Edinburgh. On Twitch, we're at GEASLive. You already know that because you're on our Twitch page. Or you can find us on Discord at geas.org.uk/Discord.
I mean, you
Um,
might as well sell your soul to Geas and join our Discord. It's where all the cool people are.
Exactly.
So
Absolutely, 100%.
Great.
Also, thank you, Robin. Like, I haven't really had a chance for anyone to say
Yes.
that yet, but also
Yes.
thank you for playing and for generally being president of Geas.
We stand.
So, we stand.
We stand a
King
good
Lee, we stand
president.
Robin.
We
Yeah.
Great.
Keely for
Well,
president.
yeah, and that's everything. So thank you all to the people who tuned in and watched this stream and put up with all of our chaos and put up with our technical difficulties as well. And a special thank you to Sophie for dealing with them so promptly and so thoroughly. We could not have had a better producer to have handled the situation with such precision and calm and composure to make sure that the stream got back online as quickly as possible. We are delighted and immensely grateful that you have been behind the scenes running everything so smoothly. This could not have happened without you. So thanks so much, Sophie.
big up Sophie, big up my committee. Very proud of everybody.
Lovely.
Right. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
night.
Goodbye. 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 Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye, my bathwater.